Welcome back to Grid Essentials. Today, we're diving into the basics of how cells work in Microsoft Excel and how rows and columns can help you organize and calculate your data effortlessly. Whether you are a beginner or need a quick refresher, this video has got you covered. Let's jump right in. So, what is a cell? A cell is the basic building block of your spreadsheet in Excel. It's where you input data like numbers, text, or formulas. Each cell is identified by a unique address, like A1, B3, or C5, based on its position in a column and a row. You can think of cells as tiny containers that store your data. Each row and column join together to create a cell. Pretty cool, right? But what makes them powerful is how you can manipulate rows and columns to make your data work for you. Understanding rows and columns. Excel organizes cells into rows and columns. Rows are horizontal and are numbered along the left-hand side of the sheet. Columns are vertical and are labeled with letters at the top of the sheet. Together, rows and columns create the grid you see on your spreadsheet. Now let me show you how to manipulate them to make your data pop. Adjusting rows and columns. Need more room for your data? You can resize rows and columns by dragging the edges of their headers. For example, if you want to adjust the size of each column, you can drag the cursor closer to the edge of the column. This action changes the white plus sign of the cursor to a black sign, allowing you to easily drag the column to the desired size. The same thing happens when adjusting the size of the rows. If you want to fit the content automatically, just double-click the edge of the column or row header like this. Super simple. Alternatively, if you want all rows and columns to be the same size, this is how you can go about it. First, click on the first column header and drag the cursor all the way to the last column of the data. Afterwards, move the cursor closer to the edge of any column among the ones selected. Carefully drag towards the right or left to adjust the columns automatically to equal sizes. The same can be done for rows. Adding, deleting, and moving rows or columns. Adding rows or columns is easy. Just right-click where you need the change and choose Insert. An extra row or column allows you to add data that you could have missed before or some that just came up. Keep in mind that inserting a column or row adds a new one in front of the column or row. Similarly, you can delete rows or columns if you no longer need them. This allows you to remove any set of data that is no longer useful or doesn't serve any purpose in the final outcome. Using rows and columns for data calculation. Here's where the magic happens. You can use rows and columns to structure your data for calculations. Let's say we have sales data in column C and cost of purchase in column D. To calculate profit, I'll create a formula in column E to determine the performance of each item after sales. See how swift Excel calculates everything for you? Now you can analyze your data without breaking a sweat. Tips for working with rows, columns, and cells. Here are a few quick tips. 1. You can use filters to quickly sort or search your data. 2. You can also freeze rows or columns to keep headers visible as you scroll. 'And that's it for today's video on Excel basics. Understanding cells, rows, and columns is the foundation for mastering Excel. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Excel tips, and let me know in the comments what you'd like to learn next. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.